Super Bowl 59 between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Philadelphia Eagles will be talked about for generations to come. Everyone will talk about how the Kansas City Chiefs, a team that was this close to three-peating, were stopped in blowout fashion by the Philadelphia Eagles. Everyone will talk about the Eagles' pass rush against Kansas City, how their front seven made Patrick Mahomes' life a living hell and caused him to have his worst game in his entire career. However, there was one player at one position that I wanted to talk about, and that man is Cooper DeJean at the nickel. Cooper DeJean's play as the nickel/slot cornerback not only showed how important his position is to modern NFL defenses, it may have helped improve the draft stock of a UGA player. Hello, I'm Owen Hillman, and you're watching Tackles and Checks.
Cooper DeJean was one of the top defensive backs in the 2024 NFL Draft. The biggest reason why was because of his versatility. DeJean played safety, perimeter, and slot corner for the Iowa Hawkeyes. Despite his versatility and despite his prowess, the Eagles were somehow able to land him with the 40th overall pick in the second round of the 2024 draft. And with the Eagles already taking Quinyon Mitchell earlier in that draft, and Big Play Slay already being a fixture in that defense, Cooper DeJean would be forced to play primarily nickel. He didn't start in his first 4 games, but after Game 5 he became a fixture in the Eagles' defense. He had some great plays in the postseason against the Los Angeles Rams and the Washington Commanders. But then came his magnum opus, Super Bowl 59. In Super Bowl 59 against the Kansas City Chiefs, Cooper DeJean balled out. On his birthday, DeJean had a 90.9 PFF grade, which was the highest out of any defender in that Super Bowl. Might I add, this was the game where Josh Sweat had 2.5 sacks. Milton Williams had a great game. Zach Bond also had a pick. But Cooper DeJean was the crown jewel out of all of them. Of course, everybody remembers the pick 6 that gave the Philadelphia Eagles a 3-possession lead. That was the turning point for this entire game. The Eagles would never relinquish anything more than a 3-possession lead the entire game. Now, Cooper DeJean was a very talented NFL prospect in the 2024 draft. Some people had him in the top 16 picks as well, so he could have played perimeter corner at any other system. But instead, he went to a great system in the Eagles, who used him efficiently as the nickel corner, and now here he is balling out in the Super Bowl. In the modern offense, the slot receiver has become all the more important thanks to their versatility and quarterbacks willing to throw either down the middle of the field or try to check it down to make a play happen. Guys like Jackson Smith-Njigba, Ladd McConkey, Demario Douglas, Khalil Shakir, Jaden Reed. Hell, Amon-Ra St. Brown, one of the top receivers in the entire league, lined up in the slot about 52.6% of the time. Slot receivers are becoming a much bigger deal in the NFL. Defenses have to adjust to that, so with that, you get more talented nickels, like Cooper DeJean.
Cooper DeJean's performance in the Super Bowl indicated how important the nickel corner is to the modern NFL defense. With the NFL draft coming up, there will be many teams that are looking for secondary help. But again, there is one player that will benefit more than any other person, in my opinion, because of this performance. That man is Malaki Starks from UGA.
Bobble to snap, but Nick plenty of time to throw his first deep ball for 7. McKee, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 8-yard line. He's got great ball skills. He made an incredible play. They reload with talent. He's one of the top recruits of the.
Malaki Starks is a rangy safety whose greatest ability is playing center field for the Georgia Bulldogs. So he shouldn't be able to play nickel corner, right? Well, among all of the top draft prospects, that includes Travis Hunter, Will Johnson, Jahdae Barron, Nick Emanwari, Savon Revel Jr., Benjamin Morrison, Xavier Watts, and I'll even include Trey Amos in there. Malaki Starks is ahead of every one of those players in terms of snap counts in the slot. Starks has 175 snap counts in the slot. That ranks him 139th among all defensive backs, but that's more than every single one of those players who are playing primarily in the perimeter. Now, Malaki Starks does have a 94.1 passer rating when targeted in the slot, but that doesn't mean he doesn't have some good experience in there. He has good games against Clemson, against Texas in their first matchup, and even the Notre Dame bowl game. He had some great moments there, so there should be some upside for Malaki Starks at playing nickel corner.
The stats don't just bring out Malaki Starks' weaknesses in this department. The eye test does too. First off, Malaki Starks is not the best backpedaler among this draft class. He does have a tendency to get flat-footed against speedier wide receivers, and sometimes even a tight end. He also is not the best in terms of run defense. He can get victimized on running plays by stronger and bigger wide receivers. A matchup with Cooper Kupp against him would not be a good look for him. But his athleticism is good enough to where if he's just a step or two behind, he's able to catch up to any wide receiver on any route. Malaki Starks has made athletic, highlight reel plays with this phenomenon, with this philosophy. He's also very good at play recognition. So any wide receiver screen, even if he's not able to shed a block, he could still get in there really quickly, and if not, he can help a cornerback or another safety potentially make the play by shedding a block. A good comparison for him, I've heard people say that Jesse Bates is a good comparison for Malaki Starks due to his ability to play center field. I wouldn't agree with that just because Jesse Bates is much better against the run, but a good comparison to make, and this was made by my friend Tyler, he's a big Dolphins fan, you should check him out. A better comparison to make would be Minkah Fitzpatrick coming out of Alabama. Minkah Fitzpatrick was not only good at playing center field, but he was good at being able to play the nickel. And if Malaki Starks can play his cards right, that would be a great outcome for him.